Hello, I'm Robert,
And I'm Courtney.
and this is our YouTube channel. This is our first video, and we're going to be discussing numerous topics. Basically, I know there's a lot of political things going on today, a lot of questions people have, and I know there's a lot of very strange YouTube videos out there. This is going to be kind of like and we are Christians, but we are not going to only talk about Christian topics. And a lot of it is going to be theological, philosophical, political worldviews, and basically, we thought to make this channel because we
Like to ask questions.
like to ask questions.
And
There's
figure out why we believe what we believe.
and I know for myself and with her, we got to a point in our lives going to church, and we started to ask a lot of questions. Why do we believe a lot of very popular things that Christians believe? Why are we taught certain things? Are they in the Bible? Are they not in the Bible? I mean, and why is it so hard for people to question these things? It's almost like a taboo thing. It's like you're not supposed to ask certain questions because there's a myriad of reasons of why a person kind of, revolts back at these kind of questions because maybe they don't have an answer to them. Maybe they just always believed it their entire lives. So we wanted to make this channel basically to openly discuss things, and I was thinking about a title for the channel. I don't necessarily have one yet. I was thinking of the gadfly or gadflies from Socrates. Basically, he called himself a gadfly in Athens. Basically, he wanted to constantly ask questions that get people to think as a motivator for truth. Like, basically, one of his most famous quotes that I always like is, I'm paraphrasing, but that he knows nothing. So that's the meaning of true wisdom. Like, that you don't go into something very, like, with a fundamentalist type of mindset. Like, I believe this without really having an understanding or reason why you believe it. Like, you can't back it up. And I started to run into that a lot with my particular faith. I'm sure it's not,
Specific to that.
yeah, it's not specific to our faith in general. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions with a lot of different topics and worldviews. And that's what we wanted this channel to be. So we're going to, this first video is going to be short, and this is the first video. I'm going to work on certain lightings and settings and stuff like that because I'm very new to this. Is a very simple setup I got here. I just have a webcam and a Chromebook, so it's nothing. I don't have anything yet. So basically, first we're gonna give just a short background of ourselves and go from there. So I'll let you go first.
Well, I became a Christian at 22, 21, and I was raised in the church and taught a certain way. We come from a very charismatic, dispensational, Pentecostal background.
The Assemblies of God.
Yes, and this is my brother, and so we were raised in the same church, and I didn't actually start to question anything until 2020 when the pandemic started, and people were going nuts about the mark of the beast and all these theories, and I started talking to Rob, and he was asking me questions and questions I couldn't answer. I just believed the way I believed because I was taught it. And when he kind of told me, like, well, why don't you look for yourself, my views started to change. And that's why we're doing this channel, because a lot of people won't even question. And then when you try to have a conversation, it doesn't go anywhere, and people just want to believe what they believe. And we didn't want to do that anymore, and we don't really have limits anymore, at least I don't, on what I will question. If I believe it, I might be wrong, and that's okay. So that's my story.
Yeah, mine is similar and different. I also grew up in the same church, but I didn't become a Christian until I was about 25 years old, and before that I didn't believe in anything really. So when I first became a Christian, I guess I could say I had a dispensational view, but I just thought that was Christianity. Like, I didn't know that there were different views. I thought that there was like one way to read the Bible, and one worldview if you are a Christian. So, but I held to that view very short, because the moment I read the Bible, just picked it up, I started to have questions immediately. I'm like, where are they getting any of this stuff that I'm being told to believe? And I started asking questions almost immediately. And there were other influences in our lives asking questions, and really kind of like, what if what I believe isn't right? And I saw that immediately just by reading the Bible, and I think that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to a lot of, I mean, my main concern is Christianity, but this can apply to anything. I think when you go into something, we already have preconceived notions of what to believe and how things are based on how we were raised, what we've heard. And I think that you really don't start, I'm trying to find the right word, you don't start like really growing until you start really questioning things that you believe in and your worldviews, because if you hold one worldview, basically you're going to just apply that and impose that on every single situation in the world. And it could sound insane. Like, say, eschatology, which is the study of last things. I mean, most people in the world, whether they're a Christian or not, think and believe that the Bible predicts the end of the world. I mean, everybody thinks that. And I started to see that I don't think it does, but I don't want to get into all that. But that's a huge issue, is what I'm trying to get at. That's a big thing. Like, people try to downplay it, because they don't want to get into it. 'Cause it is a very difficult topic, but it's like, basically, oh well, that's a secondary issue. That's not a big thing. By the way, we believe the world is going to burn up in flames. I'm like, I think that's kind of a big thing. That's huge. I mean, so your views on these kinds of matters are actually huge, and it affects how you view the world. It affects how you view people. It affects how you view everything. Because, I mean, people may say it's a secondary issue and not a big deal, but it affects politics. It affects foreign relations with other countries. It affects a lot of things. So I think downplaying it, not talking about it because people may not know how to defend what they believe, is actually dangerous. It's caused rivers of blood for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. And so I do think it's a big issue. I think it's a very big issue. And this is what started getting my wheels turning rapidly, because I'm like, this is a problem. Like, I thought of that immediately. Like, this is a real problem. Like, if I'm supposed to believe in the Bible, and the Bible itself that I'm reading is contradicting almost everything that I've been taught. For me personally, I've always kind of had a rebellious spirit, so to me it was kind of intriguing. I'm like, well, so I kind of had, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I didn't have some sort of motivation based on rebellion to kind of be a gadfly and poke at the, I do maybe get off on some of that stuff sometimes. I'm not perfect. I have personality issues myself, but it has helped me grow in my faith and understanding with other people. Because I know myself and her and almost everybody I've ever talked to who've changed their views. They just didn't know. They didn't know that there were other views. They didn't know. They never were taught to really dig deep and to look at what is being said, who it's being said to in the Bible, the time reference that it is. I mean, if you think about the Bible, it's an ancient book written at a very different time in a very different culture. They use very different language that we don't use today. So it takes work to study. And that's with a lot of things. So I think we wanted to make this channel to discuss topics that are hard. And we're not making this to say that we have all the answers to everything either. I certainly don't. I learn new things all the time. And
it's kind of like it's just like a laid back format of asking questions and studying things through. And when he was talking, I was thinking, like, it's not only, religion and Christianity. If you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're almost like stuck inside of this box of views.
Yeah, it's cultish in a way.
Yeah, and you have to think a certain way. You can't take a little from over here and a little from here. It's like you're stuck in a certain mind frame. And I don't believe in that. I think that you should be able to question all the issues and think independently about it without being influenced by the label that you hold, if you hold a label.
Yeah, and one thing I've prided myself on is I've been called a right-wing extremist and I've been called a left-wing liberal, like a total liberal. I'm like, that's good for me. I was like, that means I'm in the middle somewhere. Like, I'm both sides I'm never going to just totally agree with. I don't agree with both, like any side that to an extreme level. I like to hear something and weigh it out. Like, well, is that true? Is it not true? Is it crazy? Is it logical? I don't know. Sometimes things are very new, and that's how I came to be with my faith, is like, what do I believe in? What do we believe in? I mean, it's a big question.
And why?
Yeah, and why do we believe the things we do? I don't, if you would have asked me these questions years back, I couldn't give you an answer. So I basically we all believe things, but I like to give an answer why I believe certain things. I don't want to just be like, well, I believe it just because I believe it. I mean, because, I guess there's some things you could do that with, but that's just not how I'm wired, I guess. I don't know. So that's the point of this channel, what we're going to try to do. This is going to be a short video. So basically, we don't have we're going to work on a certain format we want to do, because I did have a channel before and it didn't really take off. I didn't have I didn't know what I was doing too much. Not that I do now either, but it was just basically going through the Bible. And I'm not saying I don't ever want to do that, but I want it to be a bit on topics. It doesn't strictly have to be a Bible study. It could be a myriad of a lot of different topics. It could be Bible study through a book. It could be a topic. It could be a worldview type of issue. It could be, I don't know, we're both married, so it could be relationship. I don't know. It depends. Whatever we feel led to do. So basically, that's about it for this video. So
we hope that you'll stick around and ask questions with us.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a thought-provoking type of channel, and to learn together. And also, I'm going to be learning multiple things from hopefully other people, and hopefully also how to be more technologically savvy, because don't know what I'm doing with any of this stuff. So I hope to grow in that too. Maybe if this thing takes off at all, to add some more things, because I have no idea what I'm doing with this. But hopefully I'll learn. Hopefully you guys learn something from our channel. We'll try to upload once a week. We both have kids. We're married, and all right,
So
we
we'll
don't.
do the best
Yeah,
we can.
do the best we can. We're gonna try to do a video a week. Anybody out there listening who has kids, knows that your schedule can be hectic at times, but we will try to upload at least once a week. So thank you.